What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome back to a very special Tuesday Mondays episode of the Heroes for Hire podcast. I am joined, as always, by my partner in crime after a bit of a wild week, Mr. Shaun Bean. Shaun, how's it going?
It's been a long week. I'm good, Connor. I'm good. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone, for your patience while I dealt with stuff for the last week. Thanks also to all of the messages that came in being just absolutely wonderful humans. That was really appreciated.
I forget that people who listen to this are nicer than us.
Yeah, that they have feelings and emotions and they're not dulled by the
nerds,
the hate in the world that's out there. But no, like my family come up to me and were like, "Oh, the messages on the podcast page were really sweet." And I'm like, yeah, it's a real thing that I do.
It's nice. We got a little community here. A lot of people, nice people. So yeah,
a lot of good folks out there. So thank you all very much.
Yeah. So what that meant was we unfortunately were not able to record on Monday of this week. That's absolutely fine. So we decided Tuesday, let's do something special. And so, as you've seen from the title of this episode, we are bringing you our
Cars 2. I titled it Cars 2. Was I not supposed to? Oh no,
this is awkward. I watched Planes.
Ka-chow.
So we are doing our full season 1 review of Obi-Wan Kenobi, the series on Disney Plus. We were kind of tired with putting this up on the Patreon, but then we just thought, let's just do a full 6 episode thing. Put it all up here for Movie Mondays because we're currently reviewing Miss Marvel over on the Patreon currently as well. So you don't really want to put everything up there.
We don't want to double dip on the Disney Plus content.
Exactly.
Because otherwise we'll have nothing to ever talk about.
Just personally in general.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I will say, I'm going to come right out of the gate and say it, Connor.
Oh.
I really liked this series. I thought it was a lot of fun.
So we're kind of coming from this from 2 different angles. And I don't mean this in a bad way. I just mean I think it's probably good. We talk about this all the time wherever we bring up Star Wars stuff. But please forgive me, listeners, when I say Shaun likes Star Wars more than me. That's fine.
That's true. I want to clarify as well. I like the concept and some of the things that were done in the Star Wars universe. Most of the Star Wars movies are terrible.
What a caveat.
The main backbone of the franchise, not for me.
Yeah, like 95% of it is dog shit. But Jez, I'm a big fan of the 5.
Jez, you get episode 3 in there, episode 5 and 6. All about them, lads. And then, there's some odd episodes of the Clone Wars.
Maybe I lied when I said Shaun likes Star Wars more than me.
I hate Star Wars.
I think if true Star Wars fans hate Star Wars, I think that's the thing.
I think so, and they hate other Star Wars fans who like Star Wars. That's what we have to do as well.
So what's also interesting about this series is, like, not only do you like Star Wars more than me, but also I probably came from this, I don't really care about most of the things that are happening. I'm not that big on it. I like Ewan McGregor. I like Obi-Wan. But having watched the prequels with you, I'm still like, Jez, he's a bit dumb in all those movies, isn't he?
He really does not have a good head on his shoulders in those movies.
It's because Ewan McGregor's got the charm, and we all like Ewan. So we're like, yeah, we're still in. Even if it's played by a lesser actor, I think that character's a bit more boring.
I think Ewan got to act a lot more in this series. Like, he got actual emotions to convey, not just deliver weird Shakespearean space dialogue at a green screen.
And I think it's probably good that The Mandalorian came out first, and then obviously the Book of Boba Fett, so they kind of got a little bit of a ramp up to Obi-Wan. Now, Mandalorian is excellent. Season 1, it's very, very good.
So good.
And so it's important coming into this. We kind of know what they're able to do, but also I was really just excited. We just like to see these characters back. Let's just see what they do.
Yeah, and sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say though, but I've been actually reading a lot of negativity about this series, and hearing a lot of negativity about this series.
Really?
And I was interested to know where you were coming in, and it was from people who love Star Wars. So I went into this, and I was like, "Geez, that was a grand old romp. That was pretty good scenes. I quite enjoyed that." Now maybe it's more for the casual fan, I thought. But now you've said you like it too, so now I'm very confused about what's going on.
I think I saw a lot of criticism about it, but week on week, where people just don't understand that this plot hole or this open-ended thread, that's probably going to be resolved in the next couple of episodes. Or this thing that might be a retcon. Wait till the series finishes and see where it is. The big one that people had was the Grand Inquisitor being killed off. But he's alive in Rebels.
Episode 5 as well, of this.
Yeah. Yes,
not of the movies. No, they're all dead by then. They're all gone at that point. When we say episode 5, we mean this series from now on, okay?
It is confusing because it is 6 episodes. So.
Oh, it's even worse.
And that's something I want to say as well. I think this might have worked better as just a movie.
You think?
Because it's like 6 30-minute episodes. You cut out some of the filler. You have a solid 2 to 2 hour 20-minute Obi-Wan romp.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the things I've seen where it's very fan servicey. It's got lots of callbacks, but I mean, to be honest with you, that's a lot of Disney Plus Star Wars these days. I mean, just accept it. Another problem not I had, but one of the guys who I know, I think I mentioned this on the show, but that I was talking to him after the first 3 episodes, and I was like, oh, it's really good, I'm really enjoying it. And he was like, yeah, but the dialogue isn't great. And then I was like, yeah, but it's Star Wars. Like, it's obviously.
Yeah. And I totally get, like, there is the argument that should be an excuse for bad dialogue. Just because it's on a series which historically has bad dialogue. I'm
just going off all the evidence I've ever seen and or heard.
That's fair. That is fair. But I also think, character-wise, none of those characters have ever learned how to be proper humans.
No.
Like, Anakin Skywalker was raised as, like, the Jesus of a cult of monks. And then he became the devil to a cult of monks. Obi-Wan Kenobi was just, like, fully indoctrinated and then had all that ripped away. And, like, Leia is raised in... she's a princess. Like, she's not among regular people. She talks very formally. So I think a lot of that going on is that they just would not talk as we would talk to each other.
I mean, I think this series absolutely does, I would say, 10 times the amount of work for Obi-Wan's character than the previous 3 movies.
Oh, yeah. I like him so much more in this than I do in any of those 3 movies that came before.
Because he's reacting like a human, and also he's showing emotion other than, well, we better follow the order.
I love how haunted he is in this. Like, they don't show it, but he relives that final battle on Mustafar with Anakin. He relives that every single day of his life. And
he's given up on the Jedi Order. And I think that's much more interesting as a viewer than the guy that's like, everything's going great while the building's like burning around him, and he's like, yeah.
Exactly, because like, it's Obi-Wan, he's a hero. There is the scene in episode 1 where the Jedi who's on the run comes across Obi-Wan. And he's like, oh my god, you're Obi-Wan fucking Kenobi.
Yeah.
You can help us. And Obi-Wan's just like, it's over, it's done. I'm not doing this. They won.
That was the right way to go about it. Once again, I'm very wary that obviously everything I say here kind of comes with a bit of great assault, that I'm just a casual fan, and I'm just like, that's what the way you would do it. That Obi-Wan's like, I hate the Jedis. Not that I hate them, but I'm just like, he's just given up. He's just like, the whole thing, it's pointless. We've lost.
He just doesn't have the fight in him anymore.
Like, exactly. And now he's lost it. He killed his own best friend. So he's like, what do I have to gain from fighting or lose from just staying here and just being like a weird hermit, lives in a cave?
Yeah, and I think he does have it in the back of his mind that, like, look, if Luke starts showing force powers, I'm going to train him. But then Uncle Owen is just like you trained his, like it's in the trailer, like you trained his dad. He's just like, no good will come of any fucking Jedi influence on this kid's life.
I think it's a really great scene in terms of, like, Obi-Wan's like, that's my chance for redemption. I'll train the kid. And then Owen's like, no, you gotta fuck with the things you've already done, okay? You need to figure that out. You can't just go, well, I'm gonna cash in that one, we're gonna go on to the next one, and then I'll fix it.
But that's the thing, like, he's buying into that old fucking Jedi Order thing of just take the kid away and uproot him and train him, and then he'll throw him out in the world and he'll be grand. Like, it doesn't make, like, he's still partly the old Obi-Wan, But I think in this series he kind of learns that, no, look, I'm gonna do it my own way for a little while.
Another thing that this series I think does absolutely excellently, and I don't think there's been one Star Wars thing that's gone wrong, especially from the newer versions, and that's Darth Vader. I think, very important, Darth Vader's a horror villain. He is just a killing machine. He cannot be stopped, and he just keeps going. I think episode 3 of this is the best example of that, when he's chasing Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is obviously like, I've been out of the game for too long. This is like prime Vader. I am fucked. Maybe in my prime I can take him, but not right now.
No, and Vader is like powered by anger at that point. And Obi-Wan is just afraid. Obi-Wan also is like kind of disconnected from the Force for a lot of this series.
Yeah, he's not as powerful, which makes sense.
It does. Like because he presumably just wants nothing to do with it. But like when he tries to use the Force, like you can see, like it takes effort for him to do it. Like it hurts him. But then when Vader uses it, he's just like it's nothing to him. Like he's just pushing people aside. I think
like this is like the Rogue One hallway scene, but like over episodes. So like to me, I'm watching this and I'm like, this is exactly what Vader is. Like he's just a killing machine. Like and especially for Obi-Wan, he doesn't give a fuck about anybody else. He's like, I want Obi-Wan. And so that I think episode 3 was the first where I was like, as someone who just, as I said, not very emotionally involved in this, I was getting giddy when like he was chasing him, and it's just darkness, and you just have the sound design from the lightsabers and the effects from the lights of them, and they're just like, you've got blue and red, and Vader just keeps coming, and Obi-Wan is just running away, and every time he turns around, he's
constantly on the back foot. Like,
he's just trying to get out of there, and Vader's like, he's just an unstoppable machine.
Yeah, like Obi-Wan does not want to fight him because he knows, like, I'm going to lose this. The fire bit, man. Where he spills the oil across the sand and lights it. And then he drags Kenobi through it. He's just like, you're going to fucking feel this. Now,
I think that's an amazing scene. It obviously comes with the caveat of also, we kind of have to overlook the fact that he just lets them get out of there. Because, like, Vader, in Prime Vader, is killing him.
No, absolutely. Scene. I think I said this to you, and I was like, I don't know what's going on with Vader in this series, because Reva keeps coming up to him, being like, I've got Kenobi on lock. I'm going to bring him onto the ship tonight. And then she comes up and is like, oh, he escaped, but I've got this new plan. And Vader the whole time was just, okay, now I'm displeased. But if you get this plan working, you'll be a grand inquisitor, so you will. But again, that was remedied in a later episode. Vader was just fucking with her the whole time.
And I think that adds to it. I think if you went back and rewatched it, like, he's clearly just fucking with her because he knows. An amazing strength, not only of Vader, but kind of builds off that, is the series starts when Order 66 has gone out, and instead of following Obi-Wan or someone we know, we follow the younglings, and it opens with them fighting off all the clones coming in, like, and they're like 12? And there's like a group of them, and there's just the teacher and her little students and her class, and she's trying to protect them as they're like going through.
She does numbers, man. Like, she gets a lot of those like troopers down.
But the problem is there's like 500 of them. And
exactly,
they
just keep coming.
And I think what it ends up killing her is she's looking out for the kids. Like, she looks back to try and protect them, and that's when she gets shot. And so it's a case of, I think that's the perfect place to start this. Like, you need to show that's Vader. This is where Vader came from. This is Anakin completely going to the dark side. And that opening bit with Hayden Christensen coming in, he's got the hood on, and you follow Moses Ingram's character, Reva, who we don't know technically that's her, but I mean, it's...
As soon as she showed up, I was like, I did know she was a Padawan. Like, it just...
Makes sense.
Yeah, and that's interesting for a story, like... Because
there was a lot of anger towards Reva in the opening episode. Shaun, what are your thoughts overall from Reva in this series?
I think she was, because the people heard Inquisitors, right? And Inquisitors were really popular in Star Wars Rebels and stuff like that. But Reva wasn't in that. So they were like, they're adding in a new character to a thing I like.
Here we go.
And it's a woman, Connor.
For God's sake.
And they just, like, it and, like, again, it doesn't break the lore. It doesn't break the canon at all because it's all resolved by the end of the series anyway. Like,
yeah, I knew nothing about the Inquisitors. I was like, she's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's a badass.
Yeah, like she's pure evil. But then at the end, when you realise the motivations, you're like, oh, that makes perfect sense. Like,
yeah, like
she would be willing to kill 50 people to get her chance to kill Vader.
Because Vader killed all of her friends and family.
Yeah.
One thing I like in this series is that you get a little more about the sacrifices that the Jedi were forced to make. Like, Obi-Wan is like, I think I have a brother. I have a vague memory of like a baby.
Yeah.
But I don't know where I come from. I don't know my family.
That is, it's kind of fucked. Like, we've talked about that in the prequel reviews. It's real messed up and it's not likeable in any way. It's like a weird cult. But
can I just say as well, the Grand Inquisitor, the weird bald man,
played by Rupert Friend.
Yes, he got a lot of hate because Hayden Christensen came out and he was like, oh, I watched all of Clone Wars and Rebels just to make sure I knew everything there is to know about Anakin before coming back to this character. And the fans were like, oh, class. But the Grand Inquisitor was like, I didn't watch anything because I wanted to bring my own interpretation to the character. And that's risky with Star Wars fans.
Oh, no.
But I think that character is fine for what he is, honestly.
I think if he'd watched thousands of hours and done no research, I think he would have done the same thing.
Absolutely. He would have been written exactly the same.
And I think the actor did a fine job for
he did
a shit-eating just like villain of like, oh, I've been betrayed, Reva, and then at episode 5 when he's like, did you honestly think that you were going to be the Grand Inquisitor, you fucking idiot?
Darth Maul got cut in half and he survived. I got a small lightsaber to the chest.
I was out jogging the next day. I was marathoning.
Nice. It was grand.
Something we should talk about. Also, Deborah Chow, who directed all these episodes, excellent stuff.
Killing it.
Just want to give a shout out.
So good.
I think they're really, really excellently done. They're done in the new, I don't know what it's called, the soundstage.
It's not Panavision, but it's like
that they use for the Mandalorian, but they also use for the Batman.
Yes, so it's a green screen. Effective. It's the same principle as a green screen, is that you have a false background behind someone, but the actors are aware of where they are and what they're looking at.
Makes a lot of difference.
There's more to react to. It really does, and it looks savage.
Yeah, it looks really, really good. I'm just saying that as a comparison to maybe some of the previous things we've seen in regards to Star Wars and green screens. Technology's come a long way, guys. Okay, we know. What would you say in regards to, you've got young Leia, who is played by Vivian Lyra Blair. I think that it's freaking me out that her and Carrie Fisher have the same face, but like 15 years apart. What's up with that?
Yeah, it is quite strange. All right, I thought that was a really interesting idea, and of course that's the only way to get Kenobi back in the game. You know, it would have to be this child that like. Now,
can I raise not devil's advocate, because I'm kind of got off that phrase, but here's the counterpoint of just, would you have liked to have seen Obi-Wan having nothing to do with the Skywalkers in this? There's just a different problem to solve. We don't want to see Leia, we don't want to see Luke.
I think I would have preferred that, but I don't mind the way that they did it, because
what else brings them in?
What else brings them in? And also, we said this in, I think it was the Attack of the Clones. It was in all the reviews, really, the prequels that we did, is that there's meant to be like a father-son thing going on between Obi-Wan and Anakin, but instead it's more like brothers who are fighting a lot of the time. But in this, we get to see Obi-Wan like be a dad and pass on wisdom and actually like care for a quote-unquote youngling, as opposed to Anakin, who he was just fucking saddled with.
I think I know a lot of people obviously weren't happy with the Skywalkers being in this. I do kind of like maybe just have Obi-Wan go off on a weird other mission, nothing to do with Skywalkers. He comes back in, but I do think it's also, it can be quite good because perfectly links to A New Hope, obviously.
Yeah.
Why would she call out to Ben Kenobi for help unless she had previously known about him and all that stuff?
Well, she calls him Obi-Wan because she knows his name because he told her.
But then, secondly, a lot of those scenes with Leia Organa in this series, they're probably Ewan McGregor's best ones because they're the ones he actually gets to talk about how he feels, and she's talking to him like about her family when they're on that truck, or like he's getting to be introspective, which we never really see from that character in any other sort of media.
No, I think my favourite bit, my favourite bit in this series is the big fight at the end.
Obviously.
But the bit after that is where he's talking to Leia, and he's just like, I did know your parents, and you are strong and truthful and honest and generous and good, and you get that from your mother. And you're also he's like, you're courageous and brave and cunning like your father. And like, that's just a nice real moment that like has never been done in Star Wars before.
Because I think one of the main problems this has gone over thousands of times of thousands of different people, but we never get to see Anakin and Obi-Wan just being brothers and hanging out, and just,
unless you watch the Clone Wars animated series.
I understand that, but I mean, in terms of movie-wise, you never get to see them working together. They talk about missions. They do your favourite
thing, which is like, oh, remember this caper we had?
Do you remember that caper that we did? That sounds real fun. Now let's do a boring caper. And that's fine, but I do like to see that they cared about each other. And instead of just telling me, Obi-Wan can show it by like, Anakin doesn't have to be there. It's a small moment where he's like, Anakin's dead, but your father was a good man when he was alive. Which, to be honest, I'm not quite too sure. Haven't seen a lot of them.
Haven't seen most of what he did.
The women and the children.
Yeah, they did show a lot. There was like a flashback at the start of episode 1, and it was just a lot of it was like a montage of all of the horrible things that Anakin has done. And
Obi-Wan's just like got Stockholm syndrome. Like, no, he's good, guys, I swear.
Oh, he wasn't that bad. I do like the reveal at the end of episode 2 where he learns that Anakin is still alive.
Yes.
And it's like pure horror on his face.
Because how would he know that? Like, he would never know that. And that's the grave, that once he realises Anakin is Darth Vader, and he puts that together, he's like, I did that. I've done that to everybody here. And his guilt is like multiplied by 10.
And if I ever see him again, I'll definitely stop him for good.
Oh, I'm going to run so fast away from him.
I'm going to be gone from that man.
So how it happens is, one of the, I would say probably the weak points of the series is the fact that he has to keep saving Leia. They kind of do the same plot point twice.
Yeah.
He saves her, and the first one's a bit weak, and then she gets kidnapped again, and then he has to go save her again. Probably could have just done with one of them. And then
done with one kidnapping. It does continue the long Star Wars tradition of Leia just getting kidnapped in every adventure she goes on.
Also, the first kidnapping, by the way, one of the worst scenes in Star Wars history.
Horrendous. So bad.
How did that edit make it?
How did 3 grown bounty hunters not outrun a child
Have you ever tried to race a child, Sean? They're so shit at running.
They're so bad, their legs don't work right.
They're not even grown properly. You could fucking easily outrun them.
You can just point the other direction and they'll run. They're fucking idiots.
I'm walking alongside them. They're sprinting as hard as they can.
And it's the 4,000 metres as well. They're going to be dead by the end of it.
In this sports day, they say to me, I say I'm here to win.
I do like, though, that leads to the Kenobi heist thing that he has to plan. Would be Kumail Nanjiani being a fake Jedi. That's all fun. I don't really know what he's doing in this series, by the way. I
think he's a big name they got. I think that's another one of, maybe not a flaw, but I would say definitely probably the negative area of just, you got Kumail, he's there. And you also have an interesting idea of a guy who's pretending to be a Jedi to take advantage of people in these tough times. But then at the same time, you kind of bring that in, you introduce it, and then you just kind of have him standing around a lot going, I want to help. Yeah,
I want to be good like a Jedi, but I'm also still kind of a rogue.
Oh,
You never know what I'm going to do. Maybe he'll show up in something else. He might show up in that Cassian Andor series that they're doing.
Can't wait. Can't wait for that, Sean. You know
Hyped.
That about me. I'm very hyped about Cassian Andor.
Rogue One's own Cassian Andor.
Yes! I think a lot of... actually, speaking of Rogue One and Cassian Andor series, same issue that's going to plagues this, is that we know everyone's going to be fine.
Well, that's the thing. There's very little stakes in this.
Well, we know Cassian Andor won't be fine eventually, but he will be fine in that series due to the fact that he has to make it to Rogue One. And so, same issue with this. We know Obi-Wan's going to be fine. We know Vader, we know Luke, and we know Leia all fine. So the bit with Reva at the end and Luke, I mean, is there much stakes? Because Luke has never mentioned that ever again.
That's the thing. I don't know how much he would remember, because he was told it was Tusken Raiders, but they don't have lightsabers, and he definitely saw the lightsaber being used.
And also, I mean, you have the fight with Vader and Obi-Wan happening simultaneously. It is a bit jarring to go from that, which is obviously the peak of the show.
This is the peak of Star Wars, Connor.
I feel like they wrote that scene and then worked backwards from that.
Absolutely, yeah. That's all they wanted out of this series was that scene.
But then you also have Reva up against Owen and Beru at the same time. And that's
How is it a fight though at that point?
She should have sliced through them in seconds. Game over. And also, did you like how they introduced Owen's limp? That he has a little bit of a tumble.
He takes a fall, and now that's his character trait.
I wasn't quite sure on that, but as I said, I mean, you're there to introduce Vader versus Obi-Wan, and that's the big scene that everyone's coming to this series for, Sean. So I mean, let's talk about it, because it seems like the peak. You wanna tell me all about your favourite Star Wars scene of all time?
It's really good though, isn't it? Like, because they meet up on the planet, and they're both
Lava
angry
planet?
men. Not Lava Planet this time, Rock Planet.
Rock
Bunch
planet.
of rocks. Big bunch of rocks. And so
I like how they give all these places names, but to me, I'm just like Rock Planet, Lava Planet. That's a
it's
sand
rock,
planet.
lava, sand or forest.
And
Those
there's
are the
several sand
planets.
planets.
There's so many of them.
Yeah.
They're all identical.
They're all the
filmed
same.
like they're filmed in the same location. But I like as they're gearing up for the big fight, they're doing the Revenge of the Sith thing, where they're just talking at each other, and they say the same lines.
Yes.
Like, Kenobi's like, I will do what I must. And I'm like, oh shit. And then Anakin's like, and you will try.
And I think that was the only place to end this series. As I feel like they came up with that scene. They're like, we want them to fight. We want the ideal moment is obviously Obi-Wan goes into the fight stance. Everyone goes mad. Bit of fan service. Then you also have the fight takes place. What did you think of the choreography with it?
Really good. There was a scene earlier, a flashback of them fighting around the Attack of the Clones era. And that was really good fight choreography. And it's just like more here.
That's from episode 5. And actually a very good thematic thing that they did there is like they reflect that fight within what's happening in the episode. Like, you're jumping ahead, Anakin. You can't just constantly be striking. You have to be on the defense.
Yeah, and Obi-Wan is on the back foot for a long time. Oh, and also, sorry, I like how Vader fights. I really love how Vader fights in this series, because Anakin, after he became Vader, had to invent a new lightsaber style for himself, because he had big robot, like his legs were heavier. He couldn't move them as quickly. His arms, they were strong, but they were a bit slower. So he had to compensate for all of this. And so if you watch Vader fight, he's like, he'll swing and then he'll hold Obi-Wan back with the Force, and he'll stop his blade coming in. He does the same. He fucks Reva. Like,
yes.
He fights Reva, and he does not light his own lightsaber.
That is, I think, I mean, the main strength of this show is Darth Vader and and Obi-Wan. They're the two. I mean, if there was two things you want to get right in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, it's the two of them, and I think they absolutely nailed them. And I think the Reva one happening before, so that's episode 5. That happening before the big showdown is perfect, because we've seen Dart already up against Obi-Wan, and he put him through a bunch of fucking fire, and you're like, okay, well, he's just unstoppable. And then you have Reva, who are like, well, she's more in tune than Obi-Wan at the minute. Like, she's more in sync with the lightsaber. She's been using it every single day. And he doesn't even light up the lightsaber. He's just like, I'm just going to kick the shit out of you with your own lightsaber.
I'm going to make you defeat yourself, essentially, here. And so he does all of that with Kenobi, eventually burying him under a pile of rocks. Now, again, why not just fucking kill him?
Because the show has to continue.
But there's one more instance in this scene of where you should just fucking kill the man. And it doesn't happen.
But I mean, that's just... They have to survive. That's the thing.
I know, but he's so close. He knows how horrible he is.
And the big moment, obviously, Obi-Wan overcomes it. This is why we're here, Sean.
Yeah, beast mode Obi-Wan.
He goes beast mode. He starts lifting up all the fucking rocks. He's like, nah, mate, not today. Not today.
Doing this.
And so he fucks them all at him, and then just continues to beat the shit out of it. Like, I like how he breaks up the fucking voice box, and so Dart can't breathe, and he just continues to break him down simultaneously.
Yeah, and he gets his back so he can't move as quick. And I am fascinated by Darth Vader inside the suit, just what that is and that existence. That it's just always stuck in my mind since I read it in a Star Wars annual. And do you remember they used to have it would be half and half, and it would be schematics of suits and ships and all that kind of thing. Yeah, I would pore over that, and just everything that goes on in that man's body is ridiculous. And so we got the half face Anakin and Vader, and the conversation between,
and the voice changing is perfect.
So good.
Yes.
And the lighting as well. So anytime, because Darth Vader is a split personality, essentially, or more of a repressed personality in terms of Anakin. But anytime that Anakin Skywalker starts to come out a bit, he's lit by the blue lightsaber.
And it's Hayden Christensen's voice.
Yeah. But when Vader's in charge, it's just the screen is red and it's James Earl Jones through a voice box.
Yeah, and you can kind of hear the voice box failing. That's why Hayden's coming through. And it's just, I mean, as the director, Deborah Chow, I mean, I think massive congratulations, because I think that scene couldn't have been done better. I just think as a scene of the two of them fighting, whatever you want to say about the fight, but that moment where mask is half off, lights are going blue, red, and the voice is changing constantly, and then the bit where he's like, Anakin, I killed Anakin.
I am not your failure.
Yeah.
I am the one who killed Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, and so that and then Obi-Wan having the moment where he's been calling him Anakin repeatedly, and then he calls him Dart. Yeah. And that's when it's like, okay, well, Anakin's dead.
Yeah, because Darth is a title. And there was shit given from A New Hope where it was like, why is he calling him Darth? Does he think Darth is his first name? But it's just no, it's more of I'm not even giving you the Vader thing. You're just Darth. You're whatever this actually, rank you are.
That's actually the perfect encapsulation of... I've seen a lot of hate for that it was why is he calling him that in A New Hope then? Huh? If he knows it's Anakin, why would he call him that? But episode 6 solves that. It's just literally... all the complaint I heard was episode 4, episode 5, kind of going into A New Hope. And it's even when he tells Luke and he's like, oh, he killed your father. That line makes no sense if he knows he's alive. But... it makes perfect sense. But it's no, he told me himself.
Yeah, I had a conversation with him. And he
killed your father.
He said, I killed Anakin Skywalker. The line, fucking, Anakin Skywalker is dead, I am what remains. That's the coolest shit I ever heard, man. But, yeah, I like that Obi-Wan gets that closure of just Anakin's gone and he's he fully believes he's never coming back as well.
Yeah, he's accepted it.
Yeah, and that carries on into A New Hope and things like that. Because I think it's in Return of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker is talking to Ben Kenobi as a Force ghost, and Luke is like, Ben, I can't kill my own father. And Obi-Wan is just like, oh, well, then there's no hope. Like, then he's won. He's fully like, you have to kill this man.
That's classic Alec Guinness.
Classic. He just wanted to
look, mate,
get
just
that paycheck
slice
and
them
go.
up, right? I'm here for the day and shooting, right? Fucking slice them up and fuck off.
I'm in this fucking swamp in a robe. Like, what's happening here?
George, do I have to fucking say this shit?
I'm a sir, I'll have you know.
I think episode 6, like that final fight scene is what everyone wanted, and I think it makes what we see later on better. And I think that's a massive compliment to give to a prequel show. That like if you're kind of enhancing either the prequels, which I think it does, because the end of, I would say, episode 3 of the movies, not episode 3 of this, but the episode 3 of the movies is made better because this series exists.
Yes, absolutely. And also, like, episode 2, like, it's all improved, really. And it also improves the original trilogy because it gives you more context as to the relationship that Obi-Wan has with Vader or Obi-Wan has with Leia, who they don't speak in the original trilogy. They never have a conversation together. Obi-Wan and Leia. They just have a look as Obi-Wan is fighting Darth Vader for the last time with drastically different choreography, I will say. It's a lot more.
That's a time thing. Okay,
there's no change in that. That'll never.
He's not doing the stance. He's not doing like anything Obi-Wan. He's just Sir Alec Guinness. He's like, I'm here at lunchtime and I'm going to finish up. Just slice through me once.
I'm going to swing this around. And he's like, I'm definitely dead and I don't come back for these movies, right? Oh, no.
Kill me, George. Fucking kill me.
Oh, I'll turn you into a ghost. Does that mean kill me? Well, does it?
I think... I feel like there is a lot of strengths here. I obviously, like, you have Indira Varma, who's Tala. She's in the show. I quite like her as like someone who was on their side and has now come across to the rebels.
I like a rebel defector kind of a thing.
Yeah, I think that's good. But then you also have what I really liked was the guy in the truck. I can't remember that guy's name. The Muds.
Oh yeah, just like he's like a regular farmer. Like he's
played by Zach Braff, and of course he's like, yeah, I'm just a friendly neighbourhood. Yeah, I have them in the back there now. I don't know who the fuck they are, but I'm going to tell the lads, going to tell the Empire, and they're going to give me two big thumbs up and probably millions.
Big old reward. I got you, Kenobi, boys. I like as well the whole Jedi, like the smuggling, like I suppose group that they have set up where they're like getting people out, they're getting people to safety.
The only issue that I had was, and I think it's just reflection of that they only have 6 episodes, is that the rebel group are like, Obi-Wan, who the fuck are you? You're not that important. I don't give a shit. And then like 4 seconds later, they're like, you know what? We're going to kill a few of us to go and save you. Go on there now.
This man. Yeah, I think they got wrapped up in the whole Jedi thing, you know?
I think wait. They wanted the plot point of like, they don't trust him. They don't trust him because who's he to come in and start making demands? But then they're like, we're already 4 episodes in and there's only 6 episodes, so we need to get through this.
They like him now. They're big fans of Obi-Wan now.
Yeah.
The one of the Jedi that's mentioned, by the way, Quinlan Vos. He's like a fan favourite Star Wars. He's the chattiest Jedi there's ever been.
What do you explain chattiest Jedi?
He's just a rogue. Like he's just cool. He's the coolest man. I can't express. He's just very, very cool. Imagine like Han Solo.
Okay.
Crossed with Obi-Wan Kenobi, crossed with Mace Windu.
Oh.
He's just the coolest motherfucker.
And is he? Why is he not the main character.
I think we're going to get one, do you know. I think that's why they mentioned him. And it'll just be Quinlan on his little adventures.
Who's, by the way, who's going to play Quinlan is the big question.
I would like Corbin Blue to play him, personally.
I would have said Oscar Isaac, but he's already locked in.
He's never coming back to Star Wars.
No, he hates Star Wars.
That ship has sailed.
He's so cool. You could easily have him bring it. Who's cool enough to pull it off?
I mean, Idris Elba, maybe?
Oh, Idris would be good. Idris would be good.
Yeah, it might be a bit old, but look, it's always possible.
See, I think Isaac would have been perfect, but they fucking blew their load and ruined it.
Lads, you had Isaac going, and you let him slip.
I mean, this episode, or the series itself, I would say, overall, I think it's pretty good. I think it's a lot better than I thought it would be, Sean.
Yeah, I was fully prepared for them to kind of not phone it in, but to just make it like a, now, aren't you happy, fans? You got your Kenobi series.
You know what they've figured out, though, and I cannot stress how much of a difference this makes to me, and I think I think I'm just a child. Lightsabers. The sound design, first of all, but light them in the dark. Always light them in the dark.
They nailed it. That scene where Leia is like strapped to a table.
Yes!
And like it's dark out and you just see the blade ignite and Kenobi murder men.
And like he slices through one stormtrooper and then the blade goes away and then it pops up on the other side of the room and he slices through the other guy.
It would be cool to have like a Jedi Arkham style game where it's sort of like stealth. Every
lightsaber in this I think is lit in the night or in some sort of low lighting other than the one when he's stopping all the water. And he's in the hallway.
Yes.
I think every other one they figured out. I think it's from Rogue One with Vader. They've realised, it looks way cooler when the lighting is just off the fucking lightsaber.
Yeah, because that's like the most threatening thing I could possibly imagine.
Yeah, like it's just darkness and then you just hear it lighting up and it's just like this red or blue light just somewhere in the distance slowly glowing off a face.
And with Darth Vader, it glows off every edge of the fucking suit as well.
It makes so much sense.
And just as while we're on the segment, and then there was that bit when Darth Vader stopped the spaceship from taking off.
Yes.
And he just drags it back down to the platform.
But of course, he's too busy trying to do the big things, and Obi-Wan's already thought 2 steps ahead, and they've got into the little ship, and they get away because it's much faster. And that's the episode that's built off them having the duel, or the fight scene, where he's like, why are you constantly trying to just strike and kill straight away? Like, a Jedi's job is just to defend. We shouldn't be just out to kill straight away.
Yeah, so when we meet Count Dooku later on, don't kill him.
You promise me now that you won't decapitate him with both mine and your lightsabers. You have to promise me.
Now, I know you're going off to Tatooine, and I know there's sand people there. But Anakin...
But there's women and children there too. Leave them alive.
Look, even if you left the women and children, people would probably understand, okay?
They should have included those scenes in this.
That would be great.
Anakin's a real fucking shitbird.
There's no redemption for this man. He's just evil.
Specifically told, don't kill the younglings, and he has to kill them.
He has a craving to kill younglings. And then we did get a hello there.
We did.
Right at the end.
That is the most
fan-servicey thing.
Fan-servicey thing they could have done.
There's a great edit already on YouTube, and it's Obi-Wan walks over and he says, hello there. And then young Luke, they make him say General Kenobi, and then Luke sprouts 4 arms and has 4 lightsabers ready to go.
They say hello there. I also not the hello there. The best bit of that scene isn't the hello there. It's the fact that he gives them the ship that
the
Luke
Y-wing
is using in A New Hope or playing with.
Actually, on topics of real dialogue as well. The bit where Owen is like, "Do you want to fucking meet him?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk to the kid that you're looking after?"
I think that's a really small thing, but he's got Owen's respect because he was there. Now, we got to move on to negatives. We've gone through a few positives, Sean. In terms of
Quite
negatives, is there anything that stood out to you that you didn't really like?
I think the pacing kind of dips a lot of time. Like you were saying, that the rescue plot happens twice, and Kenobi just slips through Reva's fingers a good few times. Too many times. It feels like you're retreading a lot of ground, just to make up to the 6 episode mark, you know?
Yeah, and I agree. Yeah, I would say it's inconsistent, is what I would say. I think it's at its best when it's just Obi-Wan having like deep discussions about how he feels and the guilt he feels, and Obi-Wan, Darth Vader, I should say. And when the two of them are there, and I would actually even throw in Reva, because I think her story is interesting as well. I think they have her doing some boring things, but I think the basis of her story is interesting. Yeah. They could have done probably a bit more with that. It's just more inconsistent rather than outright bad.
The 2 other Inquisitors as well, with their little like power struggle subplot that they had going, could have done without all of that, to be fair, and it's the same show, just faster.
And like we mentioned, like even Kumail Nanjiani, like he's here.
He's there, yeah. He's certainly there,
would
and
the
then
show
he's
be
just along for the ride.
If he's used for one escape that he distracts while they get away.
Yeah, but that's about it. And then he's told to look after Leia, and then he drops the communicator that leads Reva to Luke. Like he's just like a little switch in the plot that says, okay, and now this is happening.
But yeah, he drops the communicator to a scene that probably doesn't really need to be there either, of Reva trying to kill Luke.
I get they wanted, I don't know, they wanted a big plan, or they wanted both Skywalker kids to be in danger for once. But it like you say, we know Luke is going to be fine. We know Owen and Beru are going to be fine.
And we also know Leia's going to be fine. But I do understand using Leia. Jimmy Smith, who could say no to Jimmy? If Jimmy asked me to go on a mission, I would say yes. So Jimmy's daughter gets kidnapped. He's like, Obi-Wan, you're literally the best Jedi I've ever known. Could you please go get her back? And also, she's Anakin's child, so something in this for you too. So go fucking get her. Yeah.
We did also get a Tamara Morrison cameo as one of the soldiers. So that stormtrooper was or clone trooper, was a member of the 501st Legion, and that was Anakin's Legion, and that's the one that slaughtered the Jedi Temple that night.
Oh.
So Obi-Wan still gave him some money. So Obi-Wan's a good guy, you know.
I think there's a lot of things that, the whole Luke thing, the whole Reva going to kill him. I think Reva's story needed to just end at that Vader scene, and it would have been fine.
She needed to be killed in the...
Maybe not even killed. I mean, bring her back for season 2. I have no issue with like her popping back up if they're doing a season 2, but I think having her come in for that last episode for a pointless scene, it's fine. You don't need to have it there. It's the same show without it.
How many lightsabers are buried on Tatooine, do you think?
Oh, you can't walk a fucking foot without
tripping over a fucking Kyber crystal.
What's this, Darth Maul's lightsaber?
I thought that fell down with him. He had it at the end of Solo. He lit it up.
It fell down, went into a chute, shot into the sand.
Jez, it's the way to go, isn't it?
It's the way to go.
And then, of course, big Liam Neeson cameo.
Oh yeah, so the series ends with Liam Neeson popping up, Qui-Gon being there and being like, "You never believed you never believed enough to see me before, but now you do. So how's it going?" Even though Liam Neeson, I mean, I think we talked about this on Movie Mondays, was like, "I'll never appear in a Disney Plus series. Movies all the way, bitches." And then we were like, "Yeah, all right, definitely."
Let Kathleen Kennedy write you a check, and then we'll see.
One day, talk to Sir Alec Guinness.
You can do it at home. We will send you a green screen. Like,
they sent them the big, massive sound stage.
Yeah, but it is nice to see Qui-Gon again. Qui-Gon's like my favourite Jedi. So
yeah, he's the only cool one.
Yeah. Except for Quinlan, of course.
Of course, I didn't know anything about Quinlan, but except the only one I've seen in movie form is Qui-Gon, but the only one with a brain, where he's like, maybe all the weird stuff we do isn't great.
Yeah. Maybe we should just, like, chill and be with the Force and not try and control it, maybe.
Qui-Gon's whole vibe is, maybe we should chill.
Yeah.
Because if we try and chill it out for a little bit, just,
Try just fucking taking it easy, boys.
Let's all just take a me day. Will we all just take a me day every day? Because this is fucking weird.
It's a lot, lads.
Did you react when you seen Qui-Gon, or did you kind of see it coming?
I kind of saw it coming based on, like, because Obi-Wan had been asking for Qui-Gon's help the whole way through. Yeah. But when he showed up, I was like, class.
So my question to you, Shaun, is two things. One, obviously we have to give it a Weetabix rating review. But as our rating system goes, because it's fine.
I don't know how that started, by the way, but I
think it's because we didn't want to give something out of 10 or say it was good or bad, because we were just going to talk about it. So you kind of make up your own opinions of what we thought.
True.
For the previous 50 minutes.
Do we have time for me to raise a small gripe I have with everyone on Earth?
Always.
Excellent. If I say to rate something out of 10 and you put a 0.5 or a 0.83 in there, I think you're an arsehole.
Oh my god.
Just pick a number. It's not that hard.
But what if I truly think something's an 8.5?
Then it's an 8.
But
if you round down
to be a 9.
No, round down. Always round down. Because then when it does come up, when that little 0.5 of goodness comes up, you're like, it's better than I expected it to be. You know?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. Can I make a suggestion for all the people on Earth that I hate?
Yeah.
I hate people that hate when people use points in their rating system. Feel free to use points. Use point 437. I want you to go as long as pi whenever you rate anything. I want to know
infinite, Connor.
Infinite degree what you rate something.
Can I raise an issue that I have with my podcast called? Do it if you want. I'm only pretending, by the way.
Imagine they're like 8.4739 and they're like, well, I actually like the other one because I said it's 8.474.
That's the thing. I just think it waters down rating systems as a whole, you know.
My question was, other than your weird rating system rant.
Sorry. I'm fine with 3.5 stars, by the way. For some reason, that's better for me.
Okay, see, there's no logical reason to what you're saying here. Do you want the season 2?
I think I do, you know. Mainly because if it's just more of Obi-Wan and Anakin just fucking chewing scenery, yeah, that sounds great. I
don't want the Skywalkers involved.
No, just a little isolated adventure, or even separate adventures. Do you know that the two don't really interact past this point, because it feels like they're kind of done and now they don't see each other until they're on the Death Star. Yeah,
I don't think you can bring the two of them back together. I think that story is told. I do like the idea of like two separate stories going on, but what story do you tell with Vader under he's just massacring a bunch of people? Like, there's nothing really to learn from that.
Yeah, you could. I mean, if you wanted to get Hayden Christensen out of the suit, you could do a bunch of, like, you know, Vader internal conflict kind of storytelling.
You're thinking of your favourite comic book. What's it called? Yeah.
I think it's just called Darth Vader.
Okay.
But yeah, it's basically a look at him just being tortured and miserable the whole time. And then he sees himself, and like the bits of him that are cut off are still light, because they never properly got corrupted. It's so cool.
It's pretty good. I mean, you could do that. And then
he goes to see Padme's grave at one point.
And he rates it 8.5. I mean, I think they probably will do a season 2 because they like money. And if Ewan's locked in if Ewan will do it, I mean, they'd be mad not to. Yeah,
I think they've set it up in such a way that a second season has to come. Like, even the stuff with Qui-Gon, who's like, Qui-Gon literally says, we're just getting started, or we still have a long way to go, is what he says. It feels like sequel bait, you know?
And Obi-Wan could be solving something nothing to, like, yeah, I think they shouldn't be connected at all. I think nothing to do with the Skywalkers, nothing to do with any of that stuff. Obi-Wan's just doing separate weird missions. He's got like hundreds of comic books. Surely one of them is a separate mission that he can go on.
What would be cool?
Go on.
On Coruscant, right?
You're going to have to explain to me which planet that is.
That's the one...
Sand planet, forest planet.
This big city planet.
City planet, okay, I'm with
you.
The
one that they landed on from space that one time.
From space, Anakin landed it.
Perfectly. There's a rogue Jedi going around killing Republic officers, Connor. And you know what they say? He has one hand and a purple lightsaber. And it's Mace Windu. And Obi-Wan Kenobi has to hunt down Mace Windu in the second series.
Can I make a other suggestion?
Yeah.
Maul.
Ooh. Maul would be good.
But why is he there if Vader's there, is the question.
See, Maul kicks around in Clone Wars the whole time.
What if, and this probably story has been done already, Maul wants to get back in with the Empire. He wants to get back in with the big man. Somehow he's returned. So he's doing shit to try and impress. To be like, let me back in. That's where Obi-Wan comes in to try and solve it. But Darth Maul's like, I need to win here. Like, I need to do this dastardly stuff so Palpatine sees and is like, I'm bringing you back on board, lad.
That's an I do like that, like the kind of trying to claw back the glory. The thing about it in Rebels, Maul is like, he's all in on the crime lord thing. He's all in on the dark saber as well. Like he wants to be Mandalore kind of a thing. So I don't know if he can. Maul's lived a full life, you know. Like he's really packed it all in.
Let's see it. I really want to see it. And I think it's the only place you go. You got to have season 1 Vader, season 2 Maul, because who else is Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan dislike?
Yeah. What if they make Grievous again? Somehow Grievous returned.
And he's still got a cough.
Still got a cough. Oh, they gave him the same lungs. Like it's
of all the bits we could have replaced. Why did we give him the same middle bit?
Nah, it's your character trait. You're a robot who can cough.
I think that's it for our end of our review, Sean. If we're going to give it Weetabix for season 1 of Obi-Wan,
I'd give it 2 Weetabix. Honey and almond, bit of milk, and it's also comes with one of those little lightsaber ties you used to get in Cocoa Pops.
Oh, well done. Yeah, I mean, I'm giving it a solid 3 Weetabix. That's my solid
preferred amount of Weetabix.
Preferred amount of Weetabix. Bit of honey, bit of milk. I'm a simple man. Simple pleasures.
Pretty tasty, Connor.
Would you like to take us out, Sean?
Yes, so thank you everyone for listening to this episode of Tuesday Mondays. We will be back tomorrow.
Some say we should just call it Movie Tuesdays.
No. Tuesday Mondays somehow sounds right. So we'll be back tomorrow with Weird News Wednesday, Friday with Hero or Zero, and then we will be on Monday for our brand new show, Movie Mondays.
Brand new? Oh.
Brand new. It's never been done before, Connor. Thank you to everyone over on Patreon who supports us. You help keep the show going, and we genuinely couldn't do it without you all. One of the things you get, as well as all the reviews and the Miss Marvel review that we're doing at the minute, is that you do get a shout out at the end of the show. Now, my throat is still in bits, so we're going to see how long I can do this without having a coughing fit, okay? Thank you to Waffles, the magic undisputed king of Aotearoa, New Zealand, Ciara Lawler, David Clarke, Ed Ball, Joe Burney, Róisín the wife Palmer, Ryan technically fine Evanson, Shaun Chuck it in the wash and it'll be grand Jamieson, Dominic, Jessiah Florida Gal Green, Anna Hjelmroos, Lil Dicky, come stay where the dog men play McGrew, Danny McLaughlin, Ray, the fabulous Frogman, Sam, Michelle Browne, Michaela Doughty, Sackman41, Frost and Buster. Thank you all so much. Shout out to new patron Buster. It's getting longer. My lung capacity is reducing by the minute.
Let's try and kill him. People just keep signing up.
Keep doing till he fucking dies. But no, thank you so much to everyone over there. That's linked in the description if you want to go support us. Also, you can go to our website, heroesforhire.ie. There's also heroesforhire.ie/shop where you can get all of the merch that we have for the show. Twitter is at Heroes for Hire Pod, the 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Divilment's discussion group. Instagram is Heroes for Hire Podcast. And the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
And I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. I've been Connor Lawler.
I've been Sean Meehan.
I shall see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.